maybe a little update on the US dollar there. You had mentioned that you sort of won't be surprised if it sort of continues this trend, this correction downward into January. Are you worried that the long-term trend is in jeopardy, though?
We're looking at this thing moving into Jan Feb, and I think, again, it is more of a psychological issue as to who's going to be president back and forth. It's not really looking at changing the trend like, oh, well, Europe will be this wonderful economic, utopia versus the United States. They're all basically in the same, wagon, I think, at this point in time. So we're just really looking at, like the euro would have to close above 125 on a monthly basis just to get, a little bit more interesting. But it would, the high is just way, there's no indication of any change in trend whatsoever.
But where you're sitting right now, again, it looks like a lot of the indicators are coming into that Jan-Fed period, and that will be a real key at that point. So I'm just giving a promo for everybody to sign on to Socrates so they can have those changes clear on at that point. But I mean, it is key. I mean, I've been watching, for example, and wondering to what degree some of these moves are just a lack of confidence in paper currencies generally. I know it's almost a cliche to say that, but when they are creating this much, so I'm watching some of the base metals move, for example, significantly. And again, Socrates was calling for a revival of a bull market in commodities. I sort of say, well, it looks like it's begun when I look at some of those movements.
Look, we have a lot of farmers that are our clients from all over the world. And I have been intimately involved with different, like the wheat boards in Australia. So I've had an interesting career in the sense that what I've been taught is by our clients, and having clients around the world in all these different industries, etc. And what I've seen so far is that a number of our clients that are farmers that are giving up, they lost all their crops. Even in Spain, I mean, the people that came and picked the crops were from Poland, so they wouldn't allow them to come down. So we're looking at, food shortages, which I've been warning about. And for the last couple of years, Socrates was showing and was warning that, okay, fine, the next cycle was going to be a commodity cycle. And I said, but it's not going to be a traditional boom. It would be because of shortages, all right? And so these forecasts that I have put out over the years have come from Socrates. He said, all right, fine, the sovereign debt crisis, etc. And if we're talking about being personally forecasting something from a gut feeling, this is beyond anything I could have imagined, all right? So I don't know how anybody on a personal level can forecast this kind of stuff because it's off the charts. The food shortages, you can look on YouTube, people have, farmers have had to plow under potato crops. They're all rotted. They couldn't get to the market. Another one had to kill over 30,000 chickens. They couldn't get them to the market. And then you look at Schwab's thing, end of meat, maybe you'll get it as a treat like a dog, okay? This is deliberate. Why? Because, again, what did you see a couple years ago? Oh, cows are the number 2 culprit in CO2. So they want to eliminate cows. You just had over there in Denmark, killing all minks. Oh, well, they got another, a strain of coronavirus. So they exterminate everything. And they're starting to talk, oh, well, cats and dogs can basically transmit COVID. All right, so, all right, now I got a dog. You want to come take my dog? Okay, fine, let's shoot it out. This is just ridiculous. What, they want to kill all our pets and all this stuff for CO2? I mean, I published, San Diego newspaper published, I give them credit, some scientists came out and said, okay, fine, we had a year with no driving around, et cetera, and guess what? CO2 didn't decline. And you go to the NASA site, what proportion of CO2 is in the atmosphere? 0.04%. And this is what we have to change the entire world economy for? Throw everybody out of work, et cetera? I mean, I just think they're totally mad. I would, if 10% of the population would be dying from a disease, okay, fine. Now you got something serious. But not, a virus that has a 99% survival rate, I don't think so. This is just nuts. So there's another agenda going on. And like I said, the Great Reset, just look at it. They knew right away. I know these people, they started selling stock in December, January, and February. They made the crash. All right, then they started buying their pet online stuff, and then they made the rally. All right, so you can see what they've been doing back and forth. And then they just started selling out some of the high-tech stocks at the end here in November. So they've been playing the markets. They'll never go to jail. They'll never be investigated because it's basically all bought and paid for.